Hello, everyone. How you doing? This is Heath Adams. Thank you, everyone, for joining this call tonight. Tonight, we're going to do a little introduction on Questra World and Atlantic Global Asset Management. Now, during this presentation, a lot of times you're going to hear me talk about Questra. You're going to hear me talk about Questra Holdings, and you're going to also hear me talk about Atlantic Global Asset Management, which is also named Agam. They are all one and the same, so I don't want you to think there are three different companies that we're talking about. They're, all companies are one and the same. So when I talk about Questra, I'm talking about Agam. And things will start to get clearer towards the end of this presentation, so you'll be able to follow along. I just want to put that disclaimer out there because a couple times I've lost a few people thinking that there's a couple of businesses that we're talking about, and that's not true. Okay, so I put together this PowerPoint for you guys, so I hope you guys follow along. Okay, I actually began with this company back in March. And prior to March, I actually researched the company for the past 6 months. The reason why it took 6 months was the mere reason that there was not an Atlantic Global or Questra agent in the U.S. So me trying to find somebody to communicate with was kind of hard because this company pretty much started, overseas or in other countries. Unfortunately, I only speak English, so the communication and the translations were being lost. However, I was trying. It wasn't until I met with my mentor sponsor, Vivian, we were talking about something, and then the next thing you know, something key kind of jogged her memory and my memory, and we started talking about Atlantic Global. She had already made connections with husband-wife team out of Belgium by the name of Mika and Bruno, and they spoke fluent English. So I was able to get in touch with them, and we had a long conversation. They were able to fill in the gaps in which I had. I was able to get from, different people based upon translations, a little here and a little there, but it wasn't until I met them that they actually put it together, gave me a presentation, answered all my questions, and I basically haven't looked back since. So I'm very grateful for them to actually have explained it. And during that journey and during that conversation, and of course during my due diligence of finding out information about this company, I found out a lot of things that I really liked. And this is my opinion, and this is based upon the research that I've done. There's tons of things that I like about this company, but I kind of broke it down a little bit to kind of highlight the ones that really stood out for me. One of the things that I liked is I liked that this was an 8-year-old company. This wasn't a company that just started last week or last month. It actually started 8 years ago in 2009. As we all know, most of your Future 500 businesses and most successful businesses in general, around 3 to 5 years, that's normally the time where, you're going to make it or break it, whether you're going to make it in an industry, whether you're not. If you've gone to that threshold where you have a lot of members and your payouts and your system is going to be able to hold, that's normally where those problems will be discovered. So the mere fact that they were 8 years old company, that's one of the things that I absolutely loved. I also like the fact that they were paying 4 to 7% paid daily, and I was able to track that back all the way back to 2013. I probably could have went back a little further, but at 2013, I was very impressed. They have never missed a payment in 8 years, and that was very impressive going along with it being an 8-year-old company. How do they make their money? Well, they deal in traditional investments. They deal in the stock market, where they're investing in the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, penny stocks, you name it, they're invested in that. They also deal in IPOs. IPOs are initial public offerings, which are pretty much where they'll bring companies to the market. Two such companies have been Google and Facebook, in which they were able to buy the stock on pennies of the dollar. And of course, fast forward to today, after it's been on the market, most of those companies are going for $80 and $100 a share and above. So they do these type of transactions all day long. They also have real estate, in which they develop, buy, and purchase real estate all over the world. 3 such hotels that I know of are in Dubai. Most of the apartments and houses that they have in Dubai are pretty much occupied by those that are participants of Questra or Atlantic Global. And I'll explain that to you later. So the mere fact that they're not a company that just traditionally dealing in the Forex market, which out there in the industry today, a lot of people are saying they're making X amount of percent per day, but they're initially investing in the Forex. They're margining your account, so if they ever get called, guess what? Those companies are no longer with us. The mere fact that you also get 25 fund managers that actually fund your account. That's right. You have 25 fund managers. You don't have just one individual firm or company. You don't have one individual trader in an office. You have 25. Your portfolio is divided amongst those 25 investment managers, and we'll go along into that a little bit later. But these are the things that I like. I also like the fact that they have insurance on our accounts of up to $52 million. So it kind of works the same traditional way of those of us in the United States when we open up our bank account or our brokerage account. So that really impressed me, the mere fact that they offer insurance in case something goes wrong. Not saying that something will. It's just like a life insurance policy. You're pretty much gambling on when that time comes that everyone is taken care of and provided for. That's exactly what this is, an insurance card. I also like the fact that this is passive income. Passive meaning you do not have to tell another person. You don't have to bug your friends and family. You do not have to sell your soul or anything. You are responsible of what you do. If you come into this particular program and you put in $5,000, guess what? Every Friday, because we do get paid every Friday. Every Friday you get paid a percentage, whether it be 4 to 7% off of that initial investment, which is $5,000. And you know you're going to get that each and every week. The beautiful thing about it is during your journey, or you have a sibling, a mother, father, aunts, uncles, or a close friend that you see that is in dire need and you think that this is something that will help them, then of course you probably want to go ahead and tell them. And as the company should, they will compensate you for doing that because you are actually doing the marketing or you are doing the introduction of their services to your friend and they are participating and you are rewarded for that. That can also be the business side if you choose to participate, but you do not. So I love the fact that it's totally passive. The career ladder, kind of touched on it a little bit more. If you choose to build this organization, they're not looking at it as a commission structure or any of these other fancy names that you've heard. They're calling it is what it is, a career ladder. You can actually have a career in this particular business in which you are compensated not based upon the people that are in your organization, but based upon the volume of currency that you have in your organization. So I really love that. And of course, as you go up in your career, you get promotions in which you actually get your percentages of what you're making, which normally range anywhere from 5 to 15%, depending on where you are on that career ladder. Along your journey, just because that you are building an organization, they will go ahead and they will reward you by giving you what they call QP points, which are Questra points, which in translation means they're going to pay you and give you bonuses, meaning extra money for your account. They range from $1,000, and I've seen them go all the way up to $150,000 plus, depending on the career ladder or promotion in which you are at. So I love the fact of that. I love the fact that the mere fact that it is a career ladder, you have the opportunity, if you choose to, just like a franchise, be able to get a brick and mortar business inside of the United States or whatever country that you're in. There's also a contractual obligation, meaning you have a contractual obligation between Atlantic Global and Questra that you are going to do what you do, i.e. you're going to invest X amount of dollars and Atlantic Global is going to do X amount of tradings, X amount to actually grow your investment because it is truly an investment. You also have a contractual obligation with Questra saying that I will be promoting your company and I will be promoting and I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to be ethical. I'm going to have integrity. And in return, Questra is saying, for you doing that, we are going to compensate you, and this is going to be the compensation plan. This is how we're going to promote you throughout the career ladder. This is what we're going to do for you. So now you have a contractual obligation that will be upheld in any country around the world. So you have a piece of paper. Not like an internet business that you see online now, where all you have to do is simply agree to the terms and agreement. You check the box and that's it. This is actually a legal contractual instrument that you actually sign between you and the company. Again, I love the fact that it's a brick and mortar facility, so they will give you an office that you can run. It helps Questra and Atlantic Global, and it'll help you because now you have a venue in which you can have prospects, in which you can have your agents come in and be able to socialize, talk to one another, conduct transactions, whether it be a deposit and withdrawals inside your office. If that's something that you want to do, that's what they have to offer. So these are the main things that I liked. They also have several packages that are available for you to purchase. I kind of made a snapshot of one of the calculators that we do have available, and I'll be more than happy to share that with anybody on this call. If you look under the column where it says weekly profit, that's pretty much a number that you can actually change, and it'll dictate how much each package is worth. On this particular calculator, I plugged in 5.48% because 2 weeks ago, I believe, that's what we had. I didn't update it for this week because we just got paid a couple hours ago, and by the way, we got paid 5.0% this week, so we did a phenomenal job this week. So for illustration purposes only, this is 5.48%. How you read this? If you notice on the left-hand side, it has white. Those are your packages, or what they call suitcases. If you purchase a white suitcase, it'll cost you 90 euros. We pretty much say $90. And you can buy any package all the way up to 5 million, depending on where you see yourself fit. But for illustration purposes only, let's say, for example, you purchase a yellow package. That yellow package will cost you $270. You will be paying 36% commission to those 25 managers. Now, this isn't 25 managers each. It's 36% go to the managers, and they divide it according to how Atlantic Global Management conducts that. And then you're getting 5.48%. When that money is put or deposited in your account on Friday, the commissions are already taken care of. So that's nothing that you have to be concerned about, or another deduction that you're going to see in your office. The computer and the system will automatically do that for you, so you don't have to worry about that. I kind of put this here so you can actually see exactly what you're paying. And as you notice, it ranges from 39%. The higher the package that you purchase, the lower the percentage that you're going to be paying, which means more money in your pocket. Now, going back to the yellow, we're figuring out at 5.48% off of $270, you will be making $14.80. That's what you have started on Monday. On Friday, based upon these numbers, and that's in, minus the commission, because that's already been calculated for us, it's $14.80. That's it. That's all. That's what you're going to be getting on a weekly basis. Every week, it'll constantly either stay in that range of between 4 and 7%. But based upon these numbers, you can actually see what it is and what your income is for that level. The same thing if you went to the black package, which is $21,000, on this particular week, you would have made 1,198 euros or $1,198. Now that money, that is liquid. That's available for you Friday right after we get paid, and you need to make a decision. That decision is, do I want to withdraw those funds? And it takes between 3 to 7 days for it to get in your Bitcoin account if you choose to utilize Bitcoins. Or do you want to purchase another package? This individual has $11.98. You can see that if this person wants to, he can buy a green package of $8.10, maybe a $2.70, or maybe a 90 euro package. Whatever you decide you want to do. This begins the compounding, because now you already have that black or that yellow package already running. Now you purchase another package with the interest that you've already earned, and now that's being put to work. It's kind of like mom and dad having babies, and those babies go out and flourish and they multiply. This is pretty much works the same way. A little bit later, we can actually plug in some real and true numbers, so you can actually see how it will affect you and what type of a strategy or plan that you would like to participate in. These are the packages. It ranges all the way from white all the way down to VIP Platinum. Here pretty much says the same thing as the chart that was on the previous screen, but let's itemize it out for you. If you look at the $90 package, it says that it's going to run for 365 days. Your investment runs for 365 days. You receive a portion of your investment and interest each and every week. So by the time 365 days have gone by, you have already got back your principal as well as your interest at the same time. The commission, as you already know, is 39%. Looking at the potential profit, this scale is based upon 4.5%. Again, I'll tell you right now, we're averaging about 5% for the last 4 weeks, I believe. So this is telling you at the end of 365 days that would have grown to 186. But what you need to understand is you also compounded. So that, yes, you made 186 off of $90, but each and every week you've made interest and principals, and as soon as you made enough money to purchase another package, now you're utilizing those funds to buy more packages. So therefore, your money and your dollars going a lot further. The percent per month, based upon that average of 4 to 7%, you're looking at $90, you're basically making 17.3%. Now, I don't know about you, but the next time you go look at your credit card statement or your bank statement, you'll look and you'll see that you're barely, if you wish, getting 0.25% at the end of the year. So if you had $1,000 at the end of the year, the bank is going to say, oh, thank you very much. Here's your $25. You know, good job. And it's like, that's no kind of money, but that's been the only instrument that we've had. So, you know, $25 is better than nothing. Here, you're making 17% per month just on that $90 package. So now you can start to see if you put more money in where you could actually be. So just looking at that box, you can kind of follow along and look at the yellow and the green, and you can kind of project where you want to be and what you want to purchase, how much the commission is going to be on a weekly basis, and what you're earning. But if you look at those numbers, they're all ranging between 40 and 30%, or 4 and 28% per month that you'll be making on your dollar, and you're getting that money each and every week, so it's liquid. And there's many strategies that you can utilize with this structure. Here are the 25 managers that actually are trading your account. They are very transparent. You can find out their names. You can find out what is their history. You can track their trading history all the way back to 2013. So it's very transparent, and you can actually look and see what they did. Now, the beautiful thing that I want you to look at is no individual manager gets more than 4% of your portfolio in which to trade, meaning the risk is very low. So if you have two managers, for example, that have a bad week, so what? You got the other 23 managers that had a great week, and they averaged everything out, and that's where we're getting that 4 to 7%. So there is no way that we can possibly lose in this market, because every trader specializes in something different. You have certain traders that specialize in mining. You have certain traders dealing in Forex. You have different traders dealing in real estate. You have different traders dealing in gold and silver. Whatever their specialty is, in the economy that we're in today, not one entity or commodity is going to continue with a downslope. So there's always going to be an average. And obviously they got a good platform, because for the last 8 years, they haven't gone below a 4.03%. So that speaks volumes that they know what they're doing, and they have a platform. If you choose to say, you know what, I like this guy number 3, Gustavo, and you decide you want to give him more than 4% to trade, you can do that. But if you lose, you lose. However, there is an insurance feature that you can have. If you decide, and you're a type of person that knows what you're doing, you can have that person, instead of 4%, trade 80% or 60%. And of course, the numbers will be adjusted amongst the other 24 of them. And then you can purchase that insurance. Now, insurance is 10% of whatever you earn. But if they have a bad week, guess what? The insurance kicks in. You don't lose anything. Most of us choose to stay with the default settings, because if you have a company that has 8 years and they haven't had a loss, and they're averaging between 4 and 7%, and let's just say they have a bad week and they made 4%, that's still better than the average instrument that we get here in the United States. I don't care if it's a treasury bond, a stock market, whatever. It's still a good deal. So we choose to go with the default, and get our 4 to 7% and don't have to worry about it and be able to sleep at night. But for those of you that are advanced, that is an option that you can actually partake in. We talked about this being totally passive, and at the end of the day, what we just talked about is just dealing with you and your money and your responsibility and not telling another soul. Those are what those numbers are. But if you're on this call and you're thinking, you know what, I got a friend, or I got a team, or I have somebody that, you know, could utilize to, you know, to make a little extra dollars. I mean, I've even had a couple say, we want to buy a house in 2 years. You know, we have $5,000. Will we be able to buy a house? And the answer is absolutely yes. And I'll show you an example of that when we go to the calculating portion. But if you're the type of person that want to tell a few people, they do have an affiliate side in which you can participate in. This is our career ladder that we have, and let's go over how do you read it. Let's start with the chart on the left. Anything below this line right here are all agents. Here and below, they're what considered agents, and here and above, they're called directors. Okay. Currently we have 13 levels. These are just 9. They just implemented the other 3 levels as of April. This chart doesn't reflect that. Currently updating it, but however, this gives you an idea what this career ladder is. So if we're looking at the left-hand side, you see a person coming in. They come in as a newcomer. That's a level 1. Any person that you bring in and they bring in, you basically are making 5%. If you get the level 2, it's 7%. Then it goes to 9, 10, 12, whatever. How do you know which level that you're going to be at? Well, if you go to the right, it'll actually tell you. Once you reach your goal of 3,000, that's including what you and your team is actually accumulating. So if you have 2 people that come in at 1,500, you have 1 person that come in at 3,000, or you have maybe 20 or 30 people that came in at 90. The minute that you get 3,000 euros, you're automatically promoted to the bronze agent. Now you're recognized as a bronze. Instead of you getting 5%, now you're making 7% off of each and every person that comes into your organization, and this comes in an unlimited depth. As we climb up the ladder, your next goal is $25,000 in volume. You actually now become a silver agent, and just because you're a silver agent, it's a little way of saying thank you. They're going to give you a $1,000 bonus. The minute your organization hits $25,000, that money is in your account, in your back office, ready for you to make the decision whether or not you want to take the money out or you want to buy more packages for your own personal portfolio. So you have those options. And again, as you go to 50,000 and 100,000 and above, you get these bonuses. And those bonuses go to you. Absolutely, cash, money, what have you. Now, there will come a time based upon your growth, and that can happen in 3 months, 6 months, a year, let's just say 2 years. You're going to become a bronze director. So now you've just promoted from agent to director, which is a level 6. Now you're getting paid 13%. So as you can tell, as you're going up your career ladder, your commissions are getting a lot higher. Your organization is going a lot higher. So that means you're getting more commission checks. Now when you reach 500,000, you become a bronze director. This is kind of like your first, what would you call it, management position. And you'll receive 20,000 euros. That money isn't available to you right then and there. Why? Because you actually have to go to either Dubai, Spain, Vietnam, and there's one more I forgot, but one of 4 places as of right now in which you need to go to corporate so you can sign your director's papers. Well, actually not necessarily papers, it's more or less your contract. And it's just stipulating the same thing as your agent. You know, you are who you are, so you have to prove that if you're Selena, you have to prove that your name is Selena, this is your address, and the whole bit. And there is a lie detector test that's done. So they're taking this really, really serious. They're thinking, we're investing so much money into you, we want to make sure that you're telling us the truth and you're truthful, because obviously once you get to this level, you have several individuals up underneath you who you are guiding to follow in your footsteps and climb up the career ladder. So they want to make sure that you are trained properly. So when you go to Dubai or Spain or wherever they send you, you're going to actually spend 3 days with them, and they're going to explain, the business. They're going to make sure you're on topic as far as what you can and cannot say. They're going to actually even show you a little bit more of what they're all about and what they're doing, kind of like being able to peek behind the curtain to kind of see what's going on. At a director or a management level, you get those type of perks. So as a bronze director, that's exactly what's going to happen in you. Once you signed your contract, that $20,000 is released, meaning it is available in your total account for you to spend. So 9 times out of 10, by the time you get back home, get home and situated, fire up your computer, that $20,000 will be in your account, and you'll be able to withdraw the money if you want to, or purchases more packages to build up your portfolio. That decision is yours. Each level works the same individual way. And there are different strategies on how to get there, but we know immediately there's a couple of people on our team that have already went and came back from doing their contractual obligation as a director. Their funds was released immediately, so we know the systems work. Since I've been in, I know personally 5 agents that actually went up and signed their director's contract, and they're really loving it. Not only they're loving it, but they love what Questra Atlantic Global has to offer. Okay, that's pretty much it as far as talking about the Atlantic Global as well as Questra. Right now I'm going to open it up a little bit to see if anybody has any questions specifically, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get into the calculator and we'll actually run some numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and open up everybody's line right now.
Unmuted.
So now that you can see where I put in the 5.2%, the $5,000 what we're talking about, and 104 weeks, which is 2 years. I'm going to go ahead and hit calculate, and we're going to see what that money comes out to be. If you started on Monday, on July 28th, you would earn $194.92 off of that 4,950 or 5,000. Off of that 5,000. So that's what you're going to be making each and every week. That $194.92 is liquid. You can take that money out. You can do whatever you want with it. That is your money. Some people want to roll it over, but you have to have a minimum of $90. So what they did in this number right here is you're able to buy 2 $90 packages. So that's what the plus signs mean. That's when you're able to add more packages, meaning you're adding more money into the system. You know that's true because if you look at it, you'll see that every week it continues to grow. The first week is 194, then 201, 206, 215. It starts to jump up. But for laughs and giggles, let's go ahead and fast forward it to 1 year, which is 52 weeks. That individual had $5,000. They now end off the year with $38,970. That's you not telling another soul and you not putting another dime in this particular program. So you put in a one-time $5,000. But again, their goal is 2 years. So let's fast forward another year, knowing that we're talking about $38,000 now. In 1 year, they would have grown to $334,000. Now, that's good enough for at least a nice healthy down payment. Depending on where you live in the United States, you can basically buy your house free and clear. At $334,000, they're saying that you're making $16,130.23 each and every week. So if you took this money out this week, guess what? Next week, you know the minimum that you're going to be making is $16,130.23. So by utilizing this calculator, you can kind of plan on where you want to be. And again, this is dealing on 5.2%. What if we made like 1 week, and it's subject to change week to week, but just giving you an average. Let's just say we made 6.5%. Let's calculate that number and see what we have. Now you're talking to $1,213,290, and that's based off of $5,000. Now again, these numbers can change. However, we are still in that making 4 to 7%. So if you split the difference at what we talked about earlier at 5.2, you can kind of see that, okay, whatever you decide, a house that you want to buy at $5,000 in 2 years, pretty much buy your house free and clear. If not, put a good down payment. But if you decided, and if you, during these 2 years, you were taking and telling a few people here and there, they put in $5,000, $10,000, $270, whatever it may be, you are now climbing up the career ladder. Once you get to level 7 or 8, now you qualify where you can apply for a loan with Atlantic Global. The only requirements that's needed is 25% in your account. Not like a down payment, it's 25% in your account. If you have that, you automatically qualify for that loan. Questra or Atlantic Global will write a check for 75% of the value of the house. Let's kind of put that in perspective. Let's just say your house costs you $100,000. If you have $25,000 in your account, Questra will cut you a check for $75,000. You give to the escrow company. The house is yours. The deed is in your name. You just pay back Questra on a weekly basis because, why? They know what you're making. You've been a part of their program. They know that you're making $20,000, $30,000 per week. So them taking out $1,000 a week for your mortgage and you walk away with $29,000, you're insane. Now, you're probably thinking, well, with that type of money, I can pay off my mortgage, a lot sooner than 10 years. Yes, but why not leverage your money? What Selena is going to teach you is all about leveraging, and she's going to basically, be teaching you, let the company pay for that. And you utilize the rest of your income that you have in your account to purchase more packages, to do other things. Whatever she decides that she wants to teach, show you guys, you can do that. But that's what you get just by telling a friend or two or whatever. And you never know. You may have that person that's down in their luck. They see this opportunity and they truly are blessed and they just really go for it. And their goal may to have their own office or to get a house or an apartment. But just because you brought them in, guess what? That pushes you up in volume as well, because we're all about volume, not about how many people you have in your organization. And of course, during that, every week they're going to be buying packages. You get paid each and every week, every time someone in your organization purchases a package. In order for those of us in the United States to be able to participate, we have to use a cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin or Ethereum. So what you would have to do is you would have to set up your Bitcoin wallet, and there are several wallets that are out there, and there are several different ones in which we have tutorials to help you, as well as we can also help you and walk you through the process of setting up your Bitcoin wallet. Then what you could do is you can either use your debit or credit card, or you can do it straight from your bank account to your Bitcoin wallet, whichever procedure that you want. A lot of folks want to fund their account as quickly as possible, so therefore there are other means on how we can do that. Once you set up your Bitcoin account, then it's just a matter of just transferring the money from your Bitcoin wallet into your Atlantic Global account, and that's literally done with 3 to 4 clicks of your mouse. So that part is probably the hardest part that you will do, because on a weekly basis, when you're actually purchasing your packages, you're literally picking, hey, I'm going to pick the blue package, I'm going to confirm the blue package, and everything is done. And then you'll look in your back office and it'll tell you that you purchased your blue or whatever package that you had. It's very simple. And then there's another step that you have to do, which is to turn your insurance off, because by default it is turned on. We like to turn it off. For the reason I explained earlier is we're using the default settings. Not one trader is trading more than 4%. We deal on the average. For the last 8 years, they've been averaging between 4 to 7%. So for me to pay an additional 10% for commissions on what I'm already paying them is 10% I don't want to have to spend, nor do I need to spend it. So you just have to turn it off, turn your insurance off, and then happy trading. And you have to get all your upgrades and everything. I teach Saturdays. But at least by Sunday, Sunday afternoon, depending on where you're at, because trading starts on Monday in Spain. So unless you know specifically what the time difference is and the change, you can go ahead and play with that time. I don't, and the reason why I don't is because I learned the hard way. I actually waited till Sunday, and I forget what time it was. And unfortunately, I missed out on that week's trading because I missed the deadline, and that was a big week percentage-wise of what I could have earned. So I always do all my upgrading and trading and all that other stuff in my back office by Saturday night. Occasionally, I may do something on Sunday, but for the week, that's fine. The bulk of my portfolio is already taken care of. Correct. Yes, yeah, all your new ones. Let's just say, for example, you came in at a blue for 24.30 and you have it in now. That's a done deal. You don't have to touch that for exactly for a year. It's if you want to repurchase, meaning for a black package because it's easy. You have a black package, which is $21,000. You're going to make a minimum of $1,000. That $1,000, if you're going to use that $1,000 to upgrade and purchase another package, that has to be done by Monday. Well, it has to be done before Monday. Again, it depends on where you're at. I'm just thinking of Monday, the trading day. But for us, I always say, I always do mine on Saturdays. Some individuals do theirs on Sunday, and that's totally fine. As long as you meet that deadline, you're fine. But I learned my lesson, so I always do mine by Saturday night. That is true. Okay. Does anybody have any questions, or if anybody having problems unmuting their phones? If not, go ahead and Skype Selena, because I definitely want to make sure that everybody understands. While we're waiting for that, I will share with you, during my research, I did find a gentleman who had participated in Atlantic Global for the past 3 years. He's pretty much making $104,000 per week. He's taking $52,000, putting it in his pocket, and the other $52,000 and putting it in and rolling it over and buying more packages to enhance his portfolio. I have another sponsor who's making $30,000 per week, each and every week. My sponsor, you know, she's making close to $8,000–9,000 per month. I'm probably the low man on a totem pole, but I'm like around $300–400 per week. But then again, I started in March, so I can't be mad at that because I'm starting to seeing success in their accounts, and to me, that's a blessing in itself. And myself, Selena, and a couple of you guys that are on the phone, we've been at it hard all week, and you know it shows because we got paid today, and you could see what you know the hard work that you've done this week. It's paying off. Hard question, easy answer. The company does have a debit card. However, those of us in the United States cannot participate because, again, Atlantic Global is not technically going to be rolling out into the United States till the year 2020 or 2021. So, I mean, depending on how you look at it, that means we got a good 2–3 years. The only reason why we're able to participate is because we're utilizing cryptocurrency, and that opened the door. So can we physically get the actual cards that you see there in the back office? No. However, they meaning we, will be having or opening our own Atlantic Bank by the end of the year or the first quarter of next year. Once Atlantic Global has their bank, each and every one of us not only will have a banking account, a savings account, but also a debit credit card in which we can actually go to ATMs and make withdrawals and deposits. They just had a live webinar, meeting Atlantic Global, on the 19th, which was the other day. You'll hear from the CEO of Atlantic Global exactly what's going on, what's happening, and see those projections. Most of those recordings are in your back office in Atlantic Global under News. However, we post them a lot in our Facebook group so individuals can actually watch those, and you can follow along with the growth of the company to understand what's going on and actually be a student of Atlantic Global and Questra, especially if you're thinking about advancing to the through the career ladder.